What's going on, guys? So I stopped here at AutoNation Ford because I was driving by and I saw that they have a 2023 F-250 Tremor. This is a new body style. You know, last time I actually saw one of these in person, well, I was at an auto show, and then I actually was up in Detroit for the reveal of this truck. But they didn't have, well, maybe they had a Tremor, I can't remember. This is what it looks like. Let's walk around this thing real quick. So they got the window sticker up there. We'll be able to kind of see what the pricing is. This is one cool truck. And again, for those of you who don't know, I actually canceled the order for mine because they said my 450 Platinum wouldn't be until like November of this year. So I figured maybe I'll just wait for a 24 model, which will probably come out in 25, who knows. But check this bad boy out. Very cool. Here's our E-coated frame. Got a little bit of a lift kit on it with the Tremor package. Got the step here on the back. Love that they introduced that, even though the folks at General Motors have been doing it for a while now. But it is really, really convenient to be able to step up here and get access to your bed. It's interesting because pretty much every body panel has changed, even though it looks very similar to the previous model. Coming around back, getting that really cool Tremor package. You can see the back significantly has changed from the previous model. Super Duty is much more, well, I'm not going to say it's much more noticeable than it was or much more standout-ish, but it still looks really nice. Again, the frame hasn't changed too much according to them. It's pretty much the same frame, which that's not a bad thing because they had a really good frame on the 2017 and up trucks. This truck sits super high up though. I mean, the belt line, which is right here, and then the overhang for the bed or the bed rails are incredibly high up. Let's take a look inside. Cloth interior. So this isn't like a super high spec Tremor package. This is actually an XLT package, which it probably said it on the outside and I just missed it. Total price $81,695, and this does have the 6.7 high output power stroke. Okay, what else does this have? Has a $12,495 power stroke, 10-speed torque shift transmission, has a 355 along with a locking rear axle, sport appearance package, XLT plus the Tremor off-road package, which was $4,375, roof clearance light, upfitter switches, which are going to be up there just like the previous model. You know, from an interior perspective, it does look quite a bit different than the interior of my F450, but in many ways it's still very, very similar. This whole area right here is definitely different. The screen, of course, is much larger. Several of these features were available on the 21 and 22 models. But yeah, it's actually pretty dang similar. This one does not have a power passenger seat on it, even though it does have the B&O upgraded sound system. This is actually a really good package for people who are actually going to use this as kind of like a semi-off-road truck. If you're going to haul something like the Palomino Paz, this would be a really, really good truck for it. Let's go on the other side and take a look at the actual truck numbers. Yep, totally missed the fact that it said XLT right there. All right, let's take a look at the numbers. So this is going to have a cargo capacity, which is pretty high for an F-250, of 3,349 pounds. So you got quite a bit of payload capacity in this truck. Now, is that enough to haul a fifth wheel? Maybe a very, very light fifth wheel. Assume, you know, 1,500, 2,000 pounds coming off the top of that. You still have roughly 1,350 pounds, and you got to deduct the weight of the hitch, all that other stuff. Plus, you know, whenever you're hauling a fifth wheel, you just have to be careful overall with how much weight is going to be loaded into the back, because it can add up really quickly. But 3,349 isn't an insignificant amount of weight for, or payload capacity for, a 3/4 ton truck. So that's really good. But this truck is, again, ideally suited for like the Palomino Paz or a heavier travel trailer, because it's going to have a tremendous amount of cargo capacity. It's going to have the power stroke, which is going to give you a lot of torque, a lot of that grunt to be able to get a trailer moving. You're going to have the exhaust brake on it to help you slow down. And the way this truck is outfitted, it's going to give you a lot of capability, plus that extra height, which comes in, I guess, handier if you do have a travel trailer versus like a fifth wheel. No sunroof, so that's a big thumbs up to me. I'm not a big fan of sunroofs. Of course, you get your towing mirrors stepping up onto these running boards. Is a really, really nice truck. Very, very nice height. And what's interesting is I got the Denali over there. I always talk about over hood clearance, and just from where I'm sitting, and I don't even have the seat up as high as I typically would, I'd usually have it right about, let's just say it was at its lowest position, so I'd usually have it right about here. Yeah, you can really tell the slope of the hood on a Super Duty gives you a lot of overhood clearance. This is a Job 1 build, and I'd actually prefer the Job 2 build. And if you don't know what that means, the first batches of trucks as they come out are typically a Job 1 build. Job 2 are when they release maybe a higher trim or a different version with extra features that weren't available during Job 1. So my specific truck that I initially ordered back in like September was a Job 1 build truck, but then they told me they were only putting orders through for Lariat trim trucks. You couldn't actually go beyond Lariat Ultimate. So I wanted a Platinum or a King Ranch or a Limited, and I'd have to wait to Job 2 because there are some features like the bed scale that I can't get in a Job 1 build, as well as like the 360 camera option for your trailers. And it's not that I need that stuff, it's just the fact that I want to be able to demonstrate the full capabilities of the truck. And if I don't have certain features and I'm limited, I might as well wait until the right truck is available. And that's kind of my little motto when it comes to this. Again, love the upfitter switches up here. If you don't know what upfitter switches are, they are pre-relayed switches that give you the power you need to power things up, like light bars, maybe a air compressor, things that typically draw a lot of power and you'd need to add external relays. They already give you the relays built in, and they're actually pretty high amperage relays, like 35, 45 amp relays, which can power a lot of stuff that, again, you typically would have to add relays for. Very, very cool. And again, as we back out, you can see this is a 6.5 foot bed, not the 8 foot bed. I would prefer the 8 foot bed. I know a lot of folks in this package would probably say it looks better this way. And the reason why I would prefer the 8 foot bed, even on a single rear wheel truck, is that extra length actually equates to reduced sway and better overall control if you're going to be hauling a heavier trailer, because you're spreading out the wheelbase and it creates kind of a resistance to the leverage that the trailer might actually enact upon the truck whenever you get crosswinds, or if you have a trailer that just doesn't track real well. That extra wheelbase is really nice, along with the extra weight you get in a Super Duty. I think this does have the step on the back. So you have a step still. Very, very slow opening step. It feels about as heavy as the step on my truck, so it doesn't feel like they've reduced any weight there. You have a nice little measurement tool here on the bed as well. Now the step itself feels lighter, and it's probably better spring assisted. And apparently they've changed the angle of this a little bit as well, so it actually comes out a little bit more. But all of this feels very, I don't know, well lubricated. But yeah, check that out. Very nice. All right, what do we have going over here? You got some tie down points. Still have your little clamp connects in there. On the side here, you're gonna have your two 110 outlets. So that's really nice. You don't have one like most trucks, you have two, but you need to be running the truck in order for the two to work. So that's one area that I wish they could come up with a more innovative way of powering the plugs on the outside, because not everyone wants to run their trucks every single time they want to charge batteries or use electrical connectors out here. You can see the window in the back is very similar to the outgoing model. Very, very cool. What do you guys think of this thing? Pretty sweet truck. You know what? I'm gonna do a video on these real quick too. Anyways, guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up. We'll talk to you again real soon.